And I should probably not be as enthusiastic
biscuit
about this is Tyron Smith has tested positive for COVID. So we talked about it yesterday. Now, 2 players alone does not make an outbreak, but it's starting to sound like perhaps you are going to get a lot of this. And I know people had really interesting feedback yesterday in terms of, I hope all of the players are okay, like health-wise, for their personal lives. Given the way that the Omicron version of this virus has gone, it seems overwhelmingly likely that they will be fine. However, I've noticed a lot of folks are also like, hey, but that should mean that they should be okay for the playoffs, and then you don't have to worry about them getting it.
I guess.
And that's a fact.
If it's a week.
Like, that's a fact. Once you've gotten it this week, you can't test positive again afterwards.
At least for the rest of the playoffs. Statistically, the NFL said you don't have to get tested.
Oh, you don't have to get tested?
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. Okay, all right then.
I'm just thinking of this, and I know that teams don't really practice much anymore, and I get at the end of the year, and you most likely will be playing a team you just played 5 days ago.
Yeah.
And it'll be obviously 14 days later that you're playing that team again. But this also kind of means that you can't really practice. I was thinking about this last night with Micah Parsons. Now we have the breaking news. Tyron Smith is out for this game. Will be out for, I'm assuming, practice for the first couple days of getting ready for your playoff game. I'm guessing Monday and Tuesday, he kind of won't be around for practice.
Which is interesting because theoretically, they wouldn't really, especially if you get the Monday night game, they wouldn't really practice Monday, Tuesday. So I'm just trying to think of and this could all be disastrous because here's the thing, if you find out, hey, tomorrow Zeke's got it, the next day Dak's got it, that's going to lead to other problems.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, let's just stop with Micah and Tyron is, okay, you even start at Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Those are your 5 days that the NFL switched it to. Then he could theoretically be good to go for Tuesday, which even if you got the Saturday game would be when they would start to amp things up. Now, that does not mean that he's automatically ready to go, but in theory, he could be.
Here's what's scary to me now that we have this breaking news. This looks like it's spreading amongst the Cowboys. And look, the Omicron, it's not as dangerous as COVID-19, but it spreads a lot quicker. It spreads a lot faster. We see this with the Dallas Mavericks for this month or for December / into January is everybody's going to get it on the Mavs. I mean, literally all 15 players have almost gotten this Omicron virus.
Yeah.
Here's what's scary to me right now. Is this the slow spread where we only get 3 or 4 players up to Saturday and we get 10 players next week who get it? And now we're down 10 players in our playoff game? Well, that's what's scaring me right now is I'm thinking Tyron spreads it to, let's just say, Lyle Collins and Zach Martin. I'm sure doing worst case scenario. He's on the offensive line. 2 of the offensive linemen get it. Yes, Tyron Smith is back, but now 2 other offensive linemen are missing for the playoff game because they can't play because of this.
All right, there's a couple of there are safeguards, right? That is, don't practice around each other, limit the contact with that. Can you trust these players to not, come into contact some other way? That's what you're hoping for, though, right? You have to take those precautions, though, right? If you don't, then you're screwing yourself over.
100% agree. I just think one of the things that we've seen that is
then you got to play a game too on Saturday, and that's a problem.
Exactly. And I think what's a little problematic too is sometimes it doesn't show up. It doesn't show up on the test the second you got it.
Right.
So I feel like by the time you're hey, we need to be careful, it's too late for some of the spread.
Yeah, no, but let's go ahead and cancel practice this week for the rest of the week.
I'd be fine.
Forfeit the game Saturday.
Oh my God.
And then we'll just show back up in the playoffs and just see what happens. Because you have to travel. You have to travel to Philadelphia too. And Kevin, I'm not suggesting that they are. All right, but we've seen plenty of coaches fudge the injury report.
Yes.
And that's this all is just so, I guess because there's such widespread across the country too, it just seems the timeliness of it is just very
I floated this with Mickey yesterday. I was like, can't we all just be oh yeah, they were all in contact with him. We need to put them all in the protocol.
Yeah, it's just weird timing for it for me. So, but that being said, and also look, it's a guy that's been the most used this year that you want fresh, Micah.
Yeah.
And then a guy that's been often injured and you don't want him to risk anything in this. But I also understand you could just be hey, rest the guys instead. But I hope Tyron feels okay. I hope he's asymptomatic, and I hope everything rocks along for him.